Are we here? Please tell me if that worked. I don't know if I'm on right now. Hi. Hey everybody, if you can hear me, welcome to your local comic show. My name is Brandon. I'm here at the Variant Edition recording studio. Getting a little bit better each day here with little bits and bobs being added and whatnot. Soon we'll have a real place where real people can be on the show. I do intend for that in the future, to have a rotating co-host of sorts or features. But life happens. It's been incredibly wild. I am here live this week after being sick last week and kind of putting out a weird half show. There's a whole lot to talk about. And one of the things I want to talk about right off the bat is assorted crisis events. It's new. It's here. It's finally here. If you've been in the store, I've been talking about this a lot. It's seriously what I think is one of the best new series of the year, the best new series of the year so far. And it is just absolutely amazing and wonderful. We also will have the series artist, Eric Zwatsky, in the store on Saturday from noon to 3. So if you're around, definitely check out that. For those of you who have not heard me talk about assorted crisis events, I did just send out a store newsletter a little while ago detailing why I really enjoy this book, and to also let people know that Eric Zwatsky is going to be in the store. But here's a little pitch on the back here, which I think is a great thing to do for all comics. Definitely having words on the back. This is how books are sold. You pick up a book, they're just like, oh, this looks kind of neat. What's it about? They flip it over and they read about it. Or they open up the cover to either like the French flaps if it's a soft cover, or the dust jacket if it's hard. So time is having a crisis. Mingling in the red light district, you can find actual cavemen, medieval knights, and cyborg soldiers on leave from World War IV. Victorian debutantes amble their way into cell phone stores, confused and bewildered. What is a data plan? On their way to work, bleary-eyed commuters get trapped in time loops, assaulted by alternate reality versions of themselves, try to avoid post-apocalyptic wastelands, and look, the 315 bus just took a wrong turn into the Neolithic area. This is from Rising Stars, Dennis Camp and Eric Zwatsky, with Eisner winners Jordi Belair on colors and Hassan Otsmane Elahu doing the lettering. They're proud to present Assorted Crisis Events, ongoing zigzagging anthology series about the compromised clicks of our clocks. Full-on one-shot stories, both beautiful and ugly, tragic and redemptive, surreal and somehow all too familiar. Stories of people and reality in crisis, trying to keep it together while the world is falling apart. Second by Twisted Second. This book is everything. The first issue has so many pages in it. The second issue has so many pages in it. The third issue, etc., etc. This goes on sale tomorrow. If you want a copy held aside for you, I can make that happen. If you want a copy to be signed by Eric Zwatsky this weekend on Saturday, you can make that happen. And for those of you who haven't heard my personal pitch for this series, this is a beautiful book that does take giant universal stakes and pairs them with intense personal moments where people are basically trying to get through life while the world is just constantly shifting around them. The approach in each issue is a little bit different. There's a through line through, and there's going to be a thread that goes through everything. But for now, it's more of an anthology series, which with each issue just being its own little thing. You can kind of digest it. I know everyone's going to have their own favorites from this series. My personal favorites, because I've been able to read the first 5 issues thanks to this camp. My personal favorites were 2 and 3 that really sunk into me. But they're all absolutely amazing, and I definitely want you to check out this book. Pick it up, put it in your hands, take a look through. It's absolutely beautiful, and I hope to see you this week, and hopefully on Saturday when Eric Zawatsky is in the store doing a signing. Now, it was an interesting thing that happened this week. The first time I've had to deal with this. Lunar, we've been dealing with for the first time, and they did something really weird. So they charged me for all of the books that are supposed to be coming out this week, and they sent most of them. One thing that they didn't send was the blank cover for Assorted Crisis event. Would have been really nice to have for starting with an artist, maybe. But no, they sent us 0 copies of it. They sent us 0 copies of, I believe, Void Rivals as well, and a few other books, and our copies of Domain, and just a few other things. So it was very frustrating. I'm just like, what's going on? So I messaged them. They're just like, oh, well, they weren't ready for the shipment, and so crediting you for the books that you paid for on the next one, so that when they ship, you're not paying for them again. I'm just like, whoa. Why did I pay for them in the first place if you're not going to deliver them to me? That seems weird. Also, why were some books I got most covers of and just one offs here and there that I didn't get certain covers of? It's very weird. It's very annoying. But all part of the growing pains of this topsy-turvy world where Diamond is going out of business. The bids are due on the 15th, I believe. March 15th, when we have our signing. The bids are due, basically. And what will happen in bankruptcy is if they've got more than one bid, it'll go to auction, and that I believe is on like the 23rd or 24th. They'll go through the auction, we'll see if there's a feasible bid, and that entity will win Diamond or parts of Diamond. So that should be interesting. We'll see what shakes out from that. I'm very interested in the outcome of this, in part because it's going to be super bonkers. And speaking of super bonkers, this week for the store is going to be super bonkers. It is going to be New Comic Book Day tomorrow, as it's always New Comic Book Day on Wednesday. And on Thursday and Friday, we actually have a book fair booked, which is kind of remarkable because the EAs are on strike. This was done through the principal, and this principal has sort of invited us to do the book fair. This is the 3rd year at this school, 4th year with this principal in general, and very excited. It always has a great environment at the school, and what we do at school book fairs is we show up, set out all the tables, everything, get things moving, get things going. And then we have classes come through all through the day, looking for books and whatnot. And then after school, there's the parents that come by and grab a few things as well. We do all the setup. We do all the merchandising. We do all the money. We do everything. The school gets 5% back in book purchases, and the students themselves save GST so that no one's having to do a whole lot of math. This is for anybody who knows schools that are desperate for programming right now because the EAs are on strike. This is a super low maintenance thing. All that is really required is sort of a basic setup, and then we take care of the rest. We require a little help at the start and at the end of the day, and otherwise we're content to kind of like run things and move around from there. So for those schools kind of desperate for a little bit of programming right now, we can help. We can make that happen. Definitely contact us. We've got some contact information down on the scroll, and if you're a parent ask your school about it. We actually have for a reading program here at Variant Edition that will hopefully benefit a whole bunch of schools that we'll be talking about once I've got some more details nailed down. So that's going to be fun too.
If you can hear me, it's in Variant Edition.
That's right, everybody. It's in Variant Edition. Here talking about the books and whatnot. In terms of number ones this week, this is the big bad boy. This is the one that you're going to want for sure. And outside of that, a lot of what we have for number ones is, well, just kind of this little guy. It's the new kickoff of Darkwing Duck by Daniel Kibblesmith and Ted Brandt and Rosteen. Incredible artists. They actually did a book called Crowded with Christopher Sabello, which is really good. I love Crowded. Crowded's basically like a near future where people can kind of crowdfund a bounty for you. And so if enough people hate you, there's sort of like a whole lot of money going into this pot, and bounty hunters come and try and kill you. You can hire a protector basically as well that will try and save you from this and go from there. It's a wonderful series. There were the amazing artists on it. They're on this book. Daniel Kibblesmith is a fantastic, funny writer. He has in the past worked for The Daily Show, and they've put together a beautiful Darkwing Duck comic for those of us where this was their cartoon as a kid. Let's see if this goes up. Yeah, you absolutely did. Oh, I like that they actually put the Facebook thing on there now. That's new. Oh, wow. That's wonderful. Yeah, I still have a few buttons that have their stuff on it for sure. I'm pretty sure I've got this one too. The big meow. And I've got them singing to the old theme song as well.
Yeah, exactly. Bacon. I was singing it first.
I love that last part. I also have the like. Yeah, we're gonna make sure that happens very soon. Gotta bring down the noise machine, or have them record here in the recording room maybe a little bit. That'll be fun. All right. So that's all for like the new number ones. What we have otherwise is a bevy of new facsimile editions that happened. We have the first appearance of John Constantine in Swamp Thing number 37. It's his first appearance, and they did this nice little cover that makes it look like he's a little action figure. Look at him. He's just a boy, just a little plastic man with his weird lighter and his cigarettes. He's gonna get cancer. He does get cancer eventually. But yeah, this is by Alan Moore, Rick Veitch, with John Tuttleben. It is a facsimile edition of the original. So you've got your letters, your ads, the whole deal from the original release, and a couple from two different eras as well. We've got the Detective Comics number 31. This features a whole bunch of first appearances of different characters and items. This is its first reprint I would say. And it has everything in it. What a lot of people don't realize is Batman was only a little part of Detective Comics. It has a whole bunch of other features, including Slam Bradley and Cosmo, the Phantom of Disguise. Bruce Nelson is a man named Bruce Nelson. He's shaving in this one. Like Speed Saunders, Ace Investigator, and the Mammoth Mystery. Like all of these old things. Larry Steele, Private Detective, Spy, like Buck Marshall, Range Detective, and Batman. It's very cool. Sean, would you believe you already have it on file? It's already in your file. So we got that. We got that covered. Look at us go. Look at that team. We also have Batman Adventures number 12. The reprint is the first Harley Quinn in comics. And it is a wonderful story, as were all the Batman Adventures comics back in the day, from Kelly Puckett, Mike Parabek, and Rick Burchett. So you can get your hands on that one. Ooh. This one's modern enough that it has one of these one of the pages that's like hot comics, and it'll list a whole bunch of comics that are worth some dollars, and some of them they're just like, these ones are worth $1, these ones are worth $2 or $3. All you need to do is contact us. Just send a postmarked bill. All comics are guaranteed like new, and so you just send off a list that you want, and then they will, with some money, and then they will send back the comic for you. Good times. Back in the day when you just had to order by catalog. All right. We're getting to the graphic novel section, and when I say we've got a couple big books, I mean that in some ways just physically. We have the Chew Omnibus edition. It has the entirety of Chew inside, all 60 issues of the series in one ginormous package. For those of you who don't know, Chew is a wonderful, bizarre series. Tony Chew is a detective with a weird secret. Tony Chew is a psychopath, which means he gets psych impressions from whatever he eats. It also means he's a heck of a detective, as long as he doesn't mind nibbling on the corpse of a murder victim to figure out who done it and why. He's been brought on by the Special Crimes Division of the FDA, the most powerful law enforcement agency on the planet, to investigate their strangest, sickest, and most bizarre cases. This runs the gamut of wild, kind of food-based crimes. This is also in a world where there is some kind of bird flu happening. That means people shouldn't really be eating chicken, all this kind of stuff. And there's a lot of different mysteries going out through it, and a lot of people with different food-based powers. Tony Chew has a bad time with his, that he can't really eat anything but beets. Beets are just kind of a nothing for him, because if he eats a cow, or if he eats like a burger, he just gets a sick impression of like even the cow dying and the cow's life and all this kind of stuff. It really messes with his head. But again, great for solving crimes. And it's a super bizarre book. It lasted for 60 issues because it was amazing. It's really funny. It's really engaging. And each issue of this is kind of its own little story as well. That builds up to a bigger story. Oh yeah, the bird. El Pollo Loco. Yeah. The wild murder bird. Also, in the big book realm, we have East of West. This one doesn't really have a description on the back, so I'm just going to tell you how it went. This is basically a wonderful, meticulous sci-fi Western that takes a lot of the Western motifs, brings it out into space, and it is from Jonathan Hickman, so it has like a clockwork, a bit of a clockwork to it. A lot of kind of Games of Thrones machinations in this world where there's people who are rich, people who are just trying to survive, and all the stuff in between. And yeah, if you're doing the space western, you can't really get much better than this. I am going to reacquaint myself with the series because I can now. Look at this; it's all in one volume. And it is the whole series, issues 1 to 45. A lot of these were well oversized as well, with the world one shot. Those are the two big boys this week. There's also a book made me think of Elsa, one of my nieces. This is Sky and Ty. A young black girl and her best friend who is a dinosaur. No nonsense cowgirl Sky and her slightly goofy but always dependable partner T-Rex Ty run the best delivery service this side of the Mississippi. No task is too big or too small for this duo, and they've never missed a deadline yet. Saddle up as Sky and Ty figure out how they can both help solve a little bear problem. And with teamwork and some speedy thinking, these partners can wrangle any problem. And yeah, it's just like a cute book about a young lady and her best friend who's a dino. We have a re-release of Mystic U. This was a series that happened quite a few years ago, and they did it in sort of like a taller square-bound format of 3 issues. But this is basically built for DC Comics YA. It's Mystic University. It says here, another worldly academy that promises to teach its young characters how to master their unique and often dangerous abilities. Teenagers Zatanna Zatara and her fellow students begin to learn the secrets of harnessing and directing their powers. But are introductory lessons enough when faced with the deadly force known as the Malevolence? For Zatanna, however, this looming danger is overshadowed by more immediate concern: the obsessive attentions of the Queen Bee Trey Society, the cold-blooded calculations of Mr. E, and whatever really happened when Zatanna first manifested her backward-speaking magic and sent her father to hell. It's a wonderful series that does cast a lot of the DC's magic folks in a high school university setting. It's really good. They are absolutely amazing. I am very, very pleased with them. Like them quite a bit. I like them quite a bit. We have Art Wars. This is from the Canadian small press publisher Pow Pow. Art Wars. Turns out the most powerful weapon in the entire universe is art. And if you are an alien species, Earth is the best place in all of space to abduct some fine artists. So you can wage some good old intergalactic warfare. How will Earth be able to function without its greatest creative minds? With lots and lots of CCR. This is the artist's first book that's been translated into English, actually. So that's pretty cool. Good times. We have the collected edition of My Adventures with Superman. This comes from the Adult Swim series that has been running for a little bit here, and it takes place in between seasons 1 and 2 of the hit series. So if you want a little bit extra from the My Adventures with Superman, this was a story that they wanted to be in the season. But it did not end up fitting either season 1 or season 2, so they popped it out, made it its own little comic, and now you can read the whole thing from one of the series writers, Josie Campbell, and art from Pablo Amacaller. It is beautiful, beautiful. We have the first volume of the DC's Finest Suicide Squad collection. This is part of DC's Finest line where they're collecting things chronologically and doing different characters, different teams, and putting everything in chronologically. Now, when I say everything, Suicide Squad here, this volume, includes the team's debut in Legends 1 to 6, their origin in Secret Origins 14, and then Suicide Squad 1 to 10, Detective Comics 582, Fury of Firestorm 62 to 64, and Firestorm Annual 5, and Pages from Millennium 4. This basically makes sure that you get all the chronology of the characters in, including different ties, including different sort of bits and bobs that they popped off and where they first were introduced. So you get all those stories complete, and then once they're all collected, you have a nice little thing on the shelf that has them listed chronologically by year, and really slick kind of design sense with the characters at the bottom there. And finally, for this week, we have the collected edition of Fish Flies from good old Canadian boy Jeff Lemire. This has been described as equal parts Tales from the Crypt and Stand By Me. And honestly, I agree wholeheartedly with that assessment. A small town crime sets off a chain of events that will permanently alter the lives of several residents of bucolic Bell River, Ontario. As the manhunt heats up, a lonely girl named Franny Fox forms an unlikely friendship with a fugitive that leads them both on an odyssey of discovery and redemption. A journey that also uncovers dark secrets from the town's eerie past. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this week. It's another quick one. I'm hoping to get some things together for upcoming weeks so that there's a little more hook for you to pop in on at the start of these. A lot of this has been just a bonkers time as the store has been dealing with diamond shifting and us trying to keep things ordered from everywhere, where things get ordered, which publishers have moved. Also, Free Comic Book Day product has started trickling in. Will all of that actually come here? Because Diamond is the steward of a few of them, and honestly, some of their shipping dates are listed past April where they might shut down. So that's going to be interesting. It all depends on who's going to buy them. It all depends on a lot of things, but rest assured, we have plans in place for Free Comic Book Day. We have plans in place for the week before, which is Independent Bookstore Day, that we will once again be doing a bookstore book passport with a whole bunch of local bookshops here. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. Last year's was amazing, even though we didn't have our full location then. We did both Free Comic Book Day and Canadian Independent Bookstore Day from Palmetto Way, the wonderful people at Palmetto Way who really helped us out. And yeah, going to be some times. All right, folks, I am to wrap things up here for now. Thank you all for being here. If you have anything that you want me to talk about next week, pop something down in the comments. I will do my best to do a little research and let you know what's going on. Anything in the comics industry that you might be interested in, history thing or whatever. I want this show to have a little more hook to it than just the new comics, so that you will find something very interesting, very entertaining each time. I will be doing the deciding of stuff things. I'm thinking of calling it No Further Answers. Because once I've decided, that's it. No further answers. Gavel, gavel. Gavel, gavel, gavel. Because, as you know, if you're asking me questions about who's going to win in a fight or something specific about comics, once I give you that answer, it is not just my opinion. This makes me the conduit of the universe. So those will be official answers from the universe that are inarguable. So that is going to happen. I've just had sort of like an idea for formatting things, and it's going to take like a little bit of extra like writing. I'm not just going to like do it on the fly. So, but yeah, getting my life in order, getting things all ready, and should be some interesting things coming up soon. So thank you all for watching. We'll be here again live next week for sure. And I think the week after, my dad's back in town. So it'll be a pre-recorded thing there. All right. Thank you all for being here, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye.